Next to the stage is another good friend of Matt's. This man he was originally from Sligo. He's a Sligo Rovers supporter, which is a bit of it's nearly a mental illness at the moment, but anyway. but he's loyal to them, he sticks at it. He taught around Trim and Boards Mill and around this area for years, and he retired, and he's taken to writing poetry. He used to be a race walker as well, he didn't mention that. He used to be a race walker. But when you're walking like that, it gives you lots of time to think about poetry. He has published 4 books of poetry, and a prize-winning author. He also, in later times, has become a video director because he's one of the M's in the M&M's, a Matt and Michael video series that Matt has been doing since lockdown. And they did about 100 episodes, and Matt has provided a lot of the musical creative content, and Michael has done everything else. He became a videographer, he's able to set up the backgrounds and all the technical data, so that's him. So would you please welcome Michael Farry.
Thank you, Frank, and I'm delighted to be here tonight to join in this congratulations to Matt. I'm almost family to Matt, really, because when I came to Trim first in 1970, I stayed with his mother for 10 years in Mill House. And more recently, of course, as you've heard, we've collaborated on the Matt and Michael videos and visiting a nursing home most weeks. I read poetry and he sings. So he's probably completely fed up of listening to me reading poems. And as for me, well, no, you can never get enough of Matt singing. When I told him I'd be reading here tonight, he mentioned this old-time recitation. And it's suitable in a way as well, because I was just wondering, what are we doing to Matt tonight? So in a sense, we're maybe canonizing him? Or maybe even ordaining him. So this is the priesting of Father John, and it needs a canon. They'll be priesting him tomorrow. Sure, it's a queer thing too. For I mind the rascal he was, and the things he used to do. Many's the time I chased him when the strawberries were ripe. Though I admit I never caught him. He was faster than a snipe. He hit me with a snowball once, and that very same hand will be blessing me tomorrow, though it's hard to understand. Long Richard from Kilcubbin, who's a sort of far-out friend, is strutting round this fortnight past, just like a hatching hen. And McAllister from Cardy, who's no more to him than me, why to think to hear the talk of him, he'd raised him on his knee. Tom the tailor is nearly bet for hurrying on new suits, and there's powerful heavy buying on the caps and yellow boots. The square is thick with bunting, man dear, 'twill be a sight when the late bus from Downpatrick gets in tomorrow night. Old Canon Dan, God bless him, will be fussing fit to burst, and the women baiting t'other to get the blessing first. But canon or no canon, and I'd say this to his face, for all his bit of purple on, he'll take the second place. And sure, even if the bishop comes with yon big mitre on, he'll never get the welcome that we'll give to Father John. Ah, the pains are at me constant now. I seldom cross the floor, but I'm crossing it tomorrow, though I never cross it more. Quit your scolding, Julia, and saying I'm not wise. Sure, the sight of him will ease me heart and gladden me owl eyes. It won't be easy bending, the owl knees will hurt, but I'll get down there before him, even in the muck and dirt. And if I get a chance at all, I'll whisper in his ear, oh, I'll do it nice and easy like, so no one else will hear. If anything should happen me before you go away, there's no one but yourself I want to strive me for the clay. The canon mightn't like it, for he's still hale and strong, and I'm sure if he anointed me, he wouldn't do it wrong. But I just feel more contented if the hand that helped me go was the hand that threw the snowball 20 years ago. And now one of my own poems from the latest collection, no hat. It's about working in the bog with my father, but it's also about how our fathers, and maybe even ourselves, were brought up as men to show very little emotion. But that didn't and doesn't mean that we don't feel emotion. Saving turf. They knew we loved it, though we never said, that high bog summer work when I could go and walk beside him, looking straight ahead. Above the roads the empty acres spread, and over them the wisp clouds high and slow. I knew he loved it, though he never said. High over parcelled fields and farmsteads and bustling homelands scurrying below, I stood beside him, looking straight ahead. He gave no orders, no commands. Instead, I learned by watching all his mountain lore. He knew I loved it, though I never said. We worked all morning. He cut, I spread, then paused for tea in the heather hollow. I sat beside him, looking straight ahead. It seems like yesterday, but he's long dead. Sometimes I see him in an evening's glow. He knew I loved him, though I never said. He walks beside me, walking straight ahead. Thank you.